Welcome to.
And that is Taco Talk,
For those of you.
but in Morse code.
Yeah, for those of you not fluent in the ways of Morse code.
First of all, why aren't you?
I know is a very few out there. Like,
Yeah.
I know the majority of people I know can speak in Morse code. Like,
Yeah. It's the perfect tool.
Like, I mean, come on. When you're in class, I know that you're using the
Yeah.
D. Like,
see,
you know?
people, they see me tapping my pencil, they might think it's a mindless habit. No.
No.
See, Fletch on the other side of the room.
You see me.
He's picking up what I'm laying
You know,
down.
some people know me to, like, fidget with my leg.
No, that's Morse.
You know, that's Morse. No, that's... trust me, guys. It's Morse.
Yeah. I've recently discovered a Morse code text to Morse translator. And it's the best thing I've found all month.
Exactly.
Carson Kennedy seal of approval.
Morse code translator. I found I've been using, I think the best website I found all month was one that just counted words for my anatomy and physiology project. I've used it way too many times than I'd like to admit. You know? Taco Talk. I'm sorry. I understand that we've been on a little bit of a hiatus. I get that. It's been 3 weeks. A hiatus. We've been on a bit of a hiatus here.
Yeah.
Okay? We apologize.
Yeah.
We're sorry. This is completely our fault.
You gotta understand. Fletch and I we're busy men, okay?
We are quite busy, hardy men.
Yeah, we're getting interviews left and right. We have to show up to premieres and stuff.
I just had an interview with the New York Times and National Geographic at the same time. I got photographed with penguins. Mm-hmm. Actually, like, they flew me to Antarctica.
They flew me to it.
Like penguins, guys. Like, we live some busy lives. Well, specifically, like, I run cross country. Mm-hmm. Carson does Carson. And
Carson watches movie and eats cereal and stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I mean...
You know, so if you look at it that way, we're both pretty busy.
We're both pretty busy people. Really, I don't think we have that great of excuses. But we didn't... It still stands that we didn't produce any content for 3
We
whole
said we'd be
weeks.
giving you the videos every Sunday.
We said we'd be having Pico de Gaming...
Wednesdays?
3 weekends ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
3, and I said it will be out this week. No, it was not out.
He has not started editing it, ladies and
I have
gentlemen.
not even started editing it. I'm sorry. It's on my computer. It's uploaded. It is ready to go for some cutting, pasting, clipping, snipping.
You already know who it be.
But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're sorry.
Anyway,
here.
yeah.
But we can't wait to bring out this new episode, which is about movies. What else did you expect? It's movies. I mean, we like movies. Carson Kennedy, Aiden Fletcher, movies.
Taco Talk. Wait a minute. Let me reverse this. Movies are to Taco Talk as moths are to lamps.
Amen, Borther. Moth memes are... I don't think... No, I'm not about moth memes.
Moth memes, I give them a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10. Are they not God's work then?
I'd say, like, not God's work necessarily. Maybe, like, a small charitable deed on the side. Not God's work.
Okay, they're working for, like, a real crappy side angel.
The thing that gets me about the moth memes is not the fact that moths are attracted to light. Haha, moths are like lights. The thing that really gets me is when they edit the disgusting little moth face in like how they edit that is what really makes or breaks the meme.
Exactly. Meme
it's
editing is very pivotal to memes. You know what I'm saying? You know?
That's why when you speak memes, it's just not the same as actually looking at one.
You know what that reminds me? That reminds me of a funny story. I remember back in elementary school, right? So we're learning cursive. I mean, I know that's something kids don't do these days. For those of you, like...
Back in my day, we used to learn cursive.
Cursive to kids these days is like VHS to our generation. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
or like...
Do you not see that fast stack of VHS tapes right there?
I know, I see that. But that's Landon.
The Kennedy household still rocks the VHS.
Landon's special like that. He's
just a special
give
little
him some
guy.
time. He means well, but he gets confused
Landon,
sometimes.
we are having you on the podcast one of these days.
Christmas special.
You better get ready for it.
That's besides the cursive point, Carson.
God.
You know, honestly, I wish cursive was like records, like vinyl. I wish that there were like a good 30 years where nobody used it. but then it comes back and it's hip and it's new and all the kids are buying it. But
buying cursive?
Buying cursive, using it for everything. Cursive shirts, cursive pants, cursive backpack, you know.
Yeah.
Okay? So, we were learning cursive in class. And we're leaving, we're getting ready to line up, and one kid raises his hand, and he says, "Excuse me, Mrs. So-and-so." She's like, "Yeah, so-and-so." And he's like, "Is there a way to, talk in cursive?" She's like, "No."
Wait, did that happen to be you?
No, it was not me.
Good.
It was not me.
What a coincidence that the kid's name was so-and-so, and also the teacher's name was so-and-so.
Yeah, they were related. Yeah,
Oh.
the so-and-so. You don't
That's
know
really official then.
the so-and-so crime family of Wellsboro, Pennsylvania. Very...
You do not tread with them.
Do not mess with the so-and-so. You know what I'm saying?
Why would they be, like, Italian?
I thought they were Russian. I just did Russian right there.
Oh, well, they're in Wellsboro, Pennsylvania.
They
so
drink the vodka in their
a crime
soy
family in
so.
Pennsylvania would probably sound like something like
something like this.
Not an entire Southern accent, but just a little bit of
like
one.
a little bit of, Mrs. So-and-so. Hey, Mrs. So-and-so, go get your sawed-off shotgun and go
That
help
sounds
me
more
rob
like
a bank.
woman from Georgia.
A woman from Georgia.
Not necessarily.
Welcome to KFC. Can I get you some Georgia Gold? We've gotten so off topic. Okay, movies. Welcome to Taco Talk. We're going to talk about movies because we like film and cinema and movie theaters, Arcadia.
Yeah, there's a difference. I'm going to start this conversation off. There's a difference watching a movie in a small dark room with on a little
there's a
portable
difference
DVD
between
player
a portable
screen.
That's something another thing that I'm sad that's leaving. Portable DVD players.
If I had one, I would use the crap out of that.
I've had the same one. It went through a flood. It got dropped so many times. It still works fine. I love it. It's like my baby. Panasonic little portable Polaroid little portable DVD
I know, I've
player.
seen it.
Yeah,
I watched movies on it.
It's masterful. I've played GameCube games on it actually. You can hook up some stuff I've played the game.
That is amazing.
But there's a difference between watching a movie on an iPod, iPad, portable DVD player if you're like one of us.
Then
or even a TV and watching it in a theater, in a cinema.
So different.
I think it all leads back to the movie, the cinema, the theater high.
It all leads back to the ancient Rome.
One pivotal moment in my life. But no, the theater high. I think it's
it's a thing.
It's my drug.
It's out there.
I'm gonna say it. I am very addicted to the theater high. It's what keeps me going.
But you haven't been for a while.
I haven't been for a while. I've been sobered up for a good, I want to say 2 weeks now, and it's starting to get to me.
There was a period where I hadn't gone for a while, but just recently, I saw 2 movies in a week and a half.
I think
neither of them very good.
The last months I'm gonna even say months worth of movies have been real stinkers, nothing good.
Real stinkers.
Real stinkers. They've been a real pair. They've been a real pair of stinkers. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, welcome to KFC. Yeah. Can I get your Georgia Gold? Mm-hmm. But KFC is such a good. I want some KFC now. You know what I'm saying?
You stop at the KFC. We don't have that here.
That's besides the point. We're talking about what were we talking about?
With
theater high
movies.
Yeah. So I have not. I don't think the last few weeks of movies have been really good.
No,
I remember
not at all.
One of the Arcadia's rotations, every movie was below 30% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it was I looked.
They were all
saw
mom
the posters
movies too.
Nothing. You're right about that.
They were all mom movies.
Mom movies.
The kind of movie that your mom's I'm gonna go out with the girl. My mom doesn't talk like that. She's from Manhattan. I'm gonna go out with the girls and see blah 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 blah.
Mamma Mia 2.
Mamma Mia. I don't think she did see Mamma Mia 2. But what was?
It's a mom movie. My mom saw it too.
Yeah, Mamma Mia 2. Your mom saw it. Your mom saw Mamma Mia.
No. Listen to this.
2.
As in 2, as TOO, as in addition to.
Oh.
Fletch, that is some clever wordplay.
But
Fletch, you're like a poet, and you didn't even realize it.
It's a good one. You did good there.
Thank you.
But yeah, I think. But when a theater does it, when it goes right, and there's some amazing movies in there.
Mm-hmm.
You go and watch it. It's an experience unlike any
Yeah.
other. You get those huge, like,
Oh.
over 70-foot wide screens, and it's just,
Oh.
it's so awe-inspiring. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like a kid seeing, it's like, you know, if you've seen Jurassic Park, like our first it's like that moment when she gets out of the Jeep and she
And you
looks
see
up
that
and there's the
first-
Bronchiosaurus, and you're just like,
You just combine Brontosaurus and Brachiosaurus into Bronchiosaurus.
how do you, what's the Bronchiosaurus?
It's Brachiosaurus. Brontosaurus.
Brachiosaurus.
Bronchiosaurus.
Yeah, brah. Welcome to the Brachiosaurus.
I'm the resident dinosaur expert of this duo here.
He is, actually. I don't take the time to learn any of their names. It's just a dinosaur in a movie for me. But an enjoyable movie nonetheless. What a good film.
Yeah, but anyway.
Steven Spielberg.
Spielberg. You're having a really rough
Steven
night.
Spielberg. He's
Anyway.
actually a robot, if you didn't know. I am Steven Spielberg. I make movies.
Okay,
It's
enough
such
about that. He's
so cringy. I can't even.
Yeah, you're talking about just the awe-inspiring moments.
Yeah.
The biggest example of this for me, my brother and my mom were gonna go see a movie.
Mm-hmm.
The movie was titled La La Land. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I
had
had
the
not
same experience here.
I had not heard about this movie. No, I've heard about this movie. Don't know at all what it's about, the genre.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was rated PG-13 though, so I knew I was in the clear to watch it. And I just heard that it had a lot of critical acclaim.
Yeah.
So I was like, sure, I'll tag along. So I roll up to the theater. Now, if you know me, I'm a sucker for two things. And that's a man that can sing, Ryan Gosling, and good musical movies.
Good soundtrack. Like, I'm not a huge.
There are a lot of subpar movie musicals.
Exactly.
We're not gonna mention any.
We're not gonna mention Greatest Showman. But I mean, I'm not a huge musical guy. Like, I'm not one guy
Fletch
that, like,
is not the musical guy necessarily.
I'm not a musical guy.
He's a music guy.
I am
the
a music
genre
guy.
of
I'm
musical
a big. It's not
is
like
not his.
I don't like if I want to listen to music, I'll listen to music. I don't want to watch a movie purely for my music. You know what I'm saying? But La La Land did it right. Now, in my case, I'm similar to Carson here. I actually had not heard of the movie at all. As much as I keep up to date with my movie stuff, I had not heard of La La Land yet. And when my mom was saying it, I thought it was just a typical mom movie. I was like, Mom, I don't want to see that. And this was the thing. She was going with her friend and the friend's son. The son had moved. We had been friends in childhood, like, long time since I'd seen the guy. And so my mom was like, yeah. She was like, you're going to come with me. And my dad was going to see my grandparents with my little brother.
Mm-hmm.
They live out, close, like 45 minutes away. And I was like, but Mom, I want to go see Grandma and Grandpa. Like, that's what I want to do. I don't want to go see some mom movie. She was like, Aiden, I wasn't asking. I was telling you, you're coming. And I was like, okay, I'll go. I'm not going to enjoy it, but I'll go. I'll do that for you. This once. I'm joking, but so we go, and I think, like, I'm gonna hate this. Like, this is gonna be so bad.
Yeah.
Halfway through, I am just
like,
like, oh my god.
Yeah.
What was I thinking? Like, it's such a
that first song. They were, like, doing a lot of weird stuff.
That
was like the one thing I love about musicals is when, like, this is gonna take a little bit to articulate. But some musicals, like The Greatest Showman or like High School Musical, they're aware that they're singing, right?
Exactly.
And they
consciously know that they do
like characters are singing. But in La La Land,
and like outrageous dancing, like especially Greatest Showman, like none of that stuff could ever happen in real life. And the only thing in La La Land that I think couldn't happen in real life is the opening scene when they're dancing on the cars. Other than that, like, these are people that are supposed to be well-versed and know how to tap dance. So, like, things, like, it looks natural. Like, things, like, they look...
Yeah. Like, in La La Land, the point of a song is not to be like, haha, the characters are singing. The point of a song is to convey a theme in a scene in a song.
Like...
But then right after that, they move on. Like, for one example, it shows a shot and they're, like, dancing in the stars. Mm-hmm. That obviously didn't happen. You can't dance on the stars. One, because they'll burn you.
It elicits such
and two,
an emotional...
you need oxygen.
Such an emotional experience, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think in La La Land, it's not shameless singing for just shameless plot device. Like in some movies, they just throw in singing because it's a musical and there has to be singing. But in La La Land, they don't overdo music. They put it where they know where it can add emotional benefit. Like where it deepens the story. Not only deepens the plot, deepens the story, deepens your emotional understanding of the characters.
Here's one more parallel.
That's where they.
Here's one more parallel I'll say. Then we're gonna get off La La Land. So in the movie High School Musical and La La Land, never thought I'd be comparing these two movies. They're both an audition scene. In High School Musical, when they're auditioning, you're very aware it's an audition. Okay, you don't think anything unrealistic's going on. But then in La La Land, in also an audition, like all the lights dim out and it's just her, and you feel like you're like someplace else.
And I think also in so many movies, like musical auditions, every musical audition you're like, oh, they win because it's a musical and they're amazing singers and it's because they know it's a musical. They understand and the people like it's consciously a musical. I mean, I'm not saying La La Land isn't consciously is a musical, but like in this case, she's an actor that gets constantly turned down.
Yeah.
Nobody likes her singing or his piano playing, and that's what I like. It's just
which I don't get his piano playing because he, in that one scene in the restaurant, he absolutely rocks it, and then everyone's like
no, it's
like,
okay, but like I'm watching it and like I am so mesmerized by his tickling of the ivories, like it's just so for those that haven't watched the movie, like I understand Carson's little like that made no sense.
Okay,
but it's just you need to watch the movie.
Taco Rock Productions official stamp of approval. La La Land, 10 out of 10.
Watch it.
10 out of 10 film. I think it deserved Best Picture 2016.
Honestly though, I'm gonna be honest though, I haven't seen Moonlight yet. I want to.
What are you thinking about 2018? What do you think the strong polls are? I'm thinking because a lot of the runner-up, the contenders for Best Picture come out October, December.
Yeah.
So far, we're getting two. I'm calling that A Star Is Born and First Man are going to be nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, First Man with Ryan Gosling, again, the director straight off of La La Land. And like I'm excited to see it. From what I've heard though, like they will get Oscars.
From what I've heard, this movie's not a musical.
It's not a musical. I've heard it's very good, but the thing about First Man is that I guess it plays it safe too much. Like it's an amazing, like it's a good movie, but it's not the full package that was La La Land, where it's completely transcends all these boundaries of cinema. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if every movie always transcends cinema, then it's just a new bar, and none of them transcend cinema.
Exactly.
Anyway, getting off La La Land. That could be its whole own episode, but no. So, that just sense of awe, okay? I felt this when I was younger. when I saw my first Marvel movie.
Yeah.
It's really the first movie I can remember, although I guarantee I saw other movies before this.
I think Marvel movies, especially for kids,
like the first Marvel movie, that's like a thing now.
Like, I think seeing Infinity War for kids is like the previous generation, not the previous generation, but like older generation seeing Star Wars as a kid for the first time. Like that's our thing.
Yeah. Now, I'm not talking about the first Marvel movie that once I watched this movie in theaters, I saw everyone after that.
Yeah.
Because after I saw Captain America, which is the one I'm talking about, I didn't see, like, the next 6 movies.
Yeah.
The movie I first watched, Avengers Age of Ultron, Avengers 2, that's the movie that kicked off me watching every Marvel movie in theaters. But Captain America, man, you should have seen me. I was a giddy kid, because I was a giddy kid. I was swinging my arm around like I had a shield on it. But me and my brother especially, he gets into that stuff more than he does. He will dress up for movies. He goes to Comic-Cons and stuff.
I've been to one Comic-Con.
He's really into that awesome aspect of it. Like, when we were younger, we used to watch Power Rangers. But my mom had to make us stop watching it because whenever the theme song would come on, me and Holden and Landon would beat each other up.
Really?
we would have full-on fights in the living room.
I'll be honest, for all of you childhood Power Rangers fans out there,
I'm sorry.
I always hated that show. I think it's because my dad, he always taught, whenever it would come on, he'd be like, this is such garbage. And I'd be like, you're right, Dad. And it's so, I always thought it was, it looked so, garbage.
The plot of every Power Rangers is the same. Let me tell you it. So, there's the Rangers, okay?
Uh-huh.
They find a bad guy. They slice the bad guy. For some reason,
He
instead
gets
of...
bigger.
I understand that in Kid Show you can't show blood, okay? I understand that. But whenever there's like a punch or a sword slice in Power Rangers, it's an explosion instead.
Yeah.
Like,
And like...
so they defeat the villain when he's small, and then he becomes big.
Yeah,
so
he
then
gets
they
like
turn
100
big,
feet
and they-
tall. It's insane.
It's every episode
And
of every show.
Every episode, one of the Rangers like, we have discovered a million-year-old evil that has come to take his place as the ruler of the world.
Yeah,
And
everyone.
like, but does everyone want to be the ruler of the world? Is everyone a million-year-old evil leader?
Wouldn't you
Like,
think that all the people who want to take control of the world would fight amongst themselves?
Exactly. Because they're the ones that want the world. I mean, or if they all banded up and just like...
That could be a movie idea.
Exactly. Where it's in the bad guy's perspective.
About two evil people trying to take over the world at the same time, and instead of like attacking the good guys, they just beef between themselves.
Like the Joker versus the Riddler movie. Don't care. Who cares about Batman? No, get him out of here. Joker versus the Riddler. That's what with a Penguin. I want to see a fat guy in that one.
Yeah, well, Riddler and Penguin, they're not really... They don't have, like, the same crime lords as the Joker. We'd have to probably find a different one. But that's not the story for now.
That's neither here nor there.
Never mind about that. So, do you have any stories, Fletch?
I have
the awe-inspiring. What was the first one?
Awe-inspiring stories. Well, like, seeing movies. I remember one experience I have. I remember seeing when I was younger. I have two. I think I actually watched them back to back. Movies like, I remember seeing the original King Kong when I was like 5. And
the original?
1938 King Kong. So like black and white King Kong. Not Peter Jackson with, what's his name?
Jack Black. Samuel L. Jackson.
But this is the 1938 King Kong, and I was 6. So some people may think it looks a little cheesy today, but for me, it was insane. I thought that gorilla was going to eat me. Like, it was crazy. And then what's the movie after that? Jaws. The first Jaws. And now looking back, I imagine I was a little bored in the beginning because, I mean, I don't know. It's not the super, like, there's not much action in the beginning.
Yeah, it's a lot of talking.
But then at the end, like, I remember, I always thought it was a rated R movie when I was little. I think I had the impression
I thought it was rated R until
but
like
it's like
a month ago.
It's G. I found this out last year. I always said, "Oh, Jaws was the first rated R movie I ever watched," and they were like, "No."
That's exactly what I said too.
But like, no.
Then they're like, "You mean
No,
the
it
PG?
isn't. It's
You mean the PG one?" I'm like, "Huh?"
But yeah, like I remember, and I don't even think. Like, I remember the shark just blowing up and guts everywhere, but the guy blows up and it's super gruesome. But then you watch it, and I mean, sure, the shark blows up and one of the guys gets eaten, but it's not like all this. I think, like, I really played it up in my head. So, like, movies like that was awe-inspiring. It made me scared to go in the ocean, as it does with all little kids, I think. Also, I remember when I was younger, I opened the DVD. We have this little drawer that has all the DVDs in it when I was little. And I open it up, and sitting there, one on top of the other in a stack of 3, is all the Lord of the Rings movies.
Oh.
And my dad was like, "Oh, that's my favorite, that was my favorite book series of all time. And those are the movies for them. You should really watch them, Aid. You'd love it."
I remember when I discovered Lord of the Rings.
Oh my gosh.
I gotta
it's
tell
such
you.
a feeling. Am I right?
I think it was my sister's dad, and she was dropping some stuff off. And then he brought the 3 movies. And he was like, "Hey, I think your brothers might be interested in this." So she gave them to us. And then me and Leonard were like, "Oh, okay." Popped them in. We had never heard of it before.
Yeah.
Neither had I. We must have heard of The Hobbit, but that didn't occur to us at all.
Yeah, yeah.
And we watched it, and we were just like,
it
whoa.
blew me away. Like, all I wanted to do was go out and fight some orcs after that, you know? Like,
I had a dream about that.
It was amazing. Like, that.
A
those
dream?
Movies,
Get it? Last episode 3. I highly recommend
Dreams? Yeah. What a good... classic taco talk.
Classic taco talk.
Back in the day. It is back in the day because it's 3 weeks ago. We slacked, Carson.
It was a while ago.
But, yeah. So, Lord of the Rings, like, Gandalf, I loved him so much. And those wars, like, the Battle of Minas Tirith.
Shout out to Sir Ian McKellen.
Exactly. Such a good actor. Like,
he's a good guy.
I can't imagine him young. Like, you know, there's some actors that you can't imagine young. Like, you look at that guy and you're like, but
he's been old forever.
Like, what's his name? In Bruce Almighty and
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. That guy's
He's
never
been old forever.
He has never been young. I swear, he has never been young. People like that.
You might be onto something there.
I swear.
Betty White.
Betty White's never been young. I swear, Betty Young.
Betty Young.
Betty Young.
Betty Young has never been white.
Betty White has never been young. And I'm telling you, Betty White's going to outlive me.
She's not going to die.
No, she's going to be 300 sipping her margarita in a pink pantsuit.
And she'll still be acting, guys. She'll still be in movies.
She'll probably be running on a treadmill for all I know. I'm sure she's still active. Betty White is a living legend.
What's your secret? A lot of Pepto-Bismol.
Pepto-Bismol and margaritas are... I ground up the Pepto-Bismol and then I put it around the rim of the margarita. That's how she does it.
No, I'm sure she does.
I'm sure she smokes...
Anyway.
Snorts Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah.
That's Betty White's secret to eternal life.
So, yeah.
How did we get on to... Oh, Sir Ian McKellen. That's how we got there. But yeah, Lord of the Rings. Such an experience for me. Oh my gosh.
Taco Talk official rating?
11 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
What? What's wrong with you? The Lord of the Rings are classics. The last one
2
won
words.
Best Picture.
Wait, 3 words. No Tom Bombadil.
Tom Bombadil.
I want to see the Tom Bombadil solo movie.
I can't believe you mentioned that. I've always wanted to see that. My dad, like, because when we read the books, my dad's like, I want to learn more about this Tom Bombadil character.
Tom Bombadil?
And then you
what an enigma.
And then you look it up more, and you find out that like Tolkien never wrote anything else about Tom Bombadil except for like 3 pages worth of poems. That's it. Mm-hmm. Like, I want more explanation. J.R.R.
It's definitely hidden in like his kid's like secret vault.
His attic, yeah.
The secret Tom Bombadil files.
Exactly.
Anyway,
in Area 51, but so. Movie.
Are we moving on?
One last movie.
Okay.
I think for those of you who haven't seen it, I 100% give it a watch. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. My dad brought me up watching this movie, and it's one of my favorites of all time. Clint Eastwood. The one I've always loved this. My dad and I have always loved this. So very well known fact. I'm Jewish, okay?
Little known fact. You stopped yourself. You're like, no.
No, this is actually...
I've talked about this so much by now.
It's a very well-known anecdote. Dominican Jew. I am a Dominican Jew. But, like, so my dad's family's Jewish, right? And so one of the main characters in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, of course it's the ugly. I mean, Jews never get a break. But the ugly, right?
It's terrible.
He's a like a Mexican character, and he speaks Spanish in the movie and everything. He looks very Mexican, has a tanner skin and everything. And then you look it up and you find out he's a Jew from Brooklyn. Like they tan them up to play the movie.
In the words of my favorite comedian, John Mulaney, he said, "The Jews haven't let their guard down since Egypt because they gotta stay alert. The people are after them." Everything like, "Hey, what are you doing? Don't do that. Stop. Put that down."
But yeah, so The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, it's such an amazing movie. I like the it's so good. So that was one. It always inspired awe in me, especially because it's like a 3-hour-long movie and it's just an experience to watch.
All you people know that reference, that do, but you don't know you know
like
it.
you don't like tell me where it's from. It's from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Like, it's so good. Yeah. I can't begin to describe.
Moving on.
I think we want to talk about
movie theaters.
Okay,
specifically. Now,
I'm so glad. I don't think one of my favorite parts about growing up in Wellsboro. I think Wellsboro is a very underrated town.
It's a great place to live,
actually, like, honest. People always say they want to get out of Wellsboro. Yeah, it's actually amazing. Okay, yeah. We have a library, which I guess no kids use anymore. Which makes me sad.
Use for movies though.
But a movie theater, an in-town movie theater, something that I think like not too many towns have. Usually you have to drive like a good 20-30 minutes to get to a movie theater if you live somewhere else.
Yeah, a lot of people from like Mansfield come to Wellsboro to watch the movie.
Like Wellsboro is like the
more pizza places than you can count.
Yeah, we have
within a mile of each other.
4 pizza places within like a half a mile radius. It's insane. 3 of them are on the same street, literally, like, you can see all of them from each other.
3 of them are directly on Main Street.
But, like, having...
Wait, no, 4 of them.
Are there?
Tony's, Timeless, Fox's,
Timeless too.
Pizza Hut. It's ridiculous.
So we have 5 in a half a mile radius.
Yeah, because then Pudgy's. You can't see it from there, but Pudgy's
too. Yeah, it's insane. But I bet another one will open within the next 2 years.
It always does.
Like the Arcadia, having that, and it's a good movie theater too. It's not a crappy movie. It's
classic.
We have, 4.
It's almost 100 years old.
Exactly.
2 years from now, it'll be 100.
4 separate. I'm not sure what movie watching stations. I don't know.
Theaters.
The separate theater. Yeah, 4 separate theater movie watching stations. But 4 separate theaters.
But let's be honest, basically 3 theaters, because one of those is Mondo trash.
Yeah.
I think you know what one I'm talking about. The bottom one?
Yeah.
With the loose seats. I'd prefer to watch it in one of the small side
because
theaters.
Also, the screen isn't that big either, honestly.
For the size of the room, it's not that big.
No. I think, like, that's the room that's meant to be, like...
Those are the kid movies rooms.
But it's also meant for, like, theater. Like, it's actually meant so people can get on the stage. That's the one that has a
that's
stage.
true.
It's
in
the one
Dickens,
that has a stage that people can get on.
In Dickens, when we perform for, like, some...
People,
for rich
get on
people.
Exactly. You get on the stage.
That's where we go.
But, like, having that in town, having such, like, great prices, like, good, like... People think it's expensive. Yeah, try go to, like, New York City and buy a movie theater ticket. Like, insane.
Yeah, when I went to Texas, actually, there's this place you could watch old, like, not like old classic movies, but movies that were in theater, like, several months ago, and tickets were only, like, $1. Like, because the movies weren't in high demand, so, like, if it wasn't one of the new movies they're premiering, $1 ticket.
One thing that makes me sad about our movie theater, I read this in the paper, actually. But I read it in the paper in art class when we were making paper mache. So I don't buy the paper. That's another dying thing. But what made me sad is the dying news thing. The paper it had a story about another dying thing. Film projectors in movie theaters.
Yeah.
The Arcadia got rid of theirs just like last year. It made me so sad.
It makes people sad who were there when it happens, but in the future, looking back, you'll be like, digital is more effective. I think digital does not...
I think digital is more effective. Definitely easier, cheaper, and everything to get the digital projectors. In some cases,
looks better.
Yeah.
Some movies play to the look of film purposely.
Yeah, I think, but if you have the right, like, size film comes in different sizes for those that don't know. But, like, Quentin Tarantino's movies, he shoots all of them on film. They're meant to be viewed on film. Like, it kind of makes me a little sad. But, like, I love the Arcadia. I love that. Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite parts of Wellsboro, honestly. I love just theaters in general. They elicit such a feeling, you know? Because when you go to the theater, you get your popcorn, your pack of Mike and Ike's, your Dr. Pepper, your little pep. You sit down and you're just...
Dr. Pepper is the only acceptable soda choice.
Amen.
Except I will occasionally have a Sprite/Sierra Mist, because they're the same thing.
Sprite and Sierra Mist. I thought you were going to say root beer for a second. I was like, no. That's Jonathan Wetzel.
I was just going to say that.
Exactly. But, like, that's his thing.
An important part of the movies, though, it's not necessarily snacks, although those are important. It's not necessarily even the movie, because sometimes that's not even as important as going with your friends.
Going with your friends... I remember...
Fletch and I have gone, to various movies.
We have gone to quite a few movies. Every single one, we end up laughing uproariously, and, like, okay, one of our favorite examples of this is Thor Ragnarok.
Here, let me preface this a little bit. So... we had a little bit of a technical difficulty there.
Our microphone,
Fletch forgot a little piece to the microphone, so we had to jerry-rig this.
A pivotal part to when you're filming, when you're doing stuff with a microphone, there's a cage that the microphone goes in so it doesn't, like, wobble, because when you just have it freestanding and, like, someone bumps it, it does like that, right? Yeah. So we got a cardboard box. It looks
beautiful.
Yeah, check our Instagram.
Yeah, check my Instagram. I'll definitely
see a
put
picture
it on
of
there.
it. So we have tape connected to the microphone, then taped up to a cardboard box, and it's like it's holding it like a suspension cables, so it doesn't, like, when you hit
it's
the
using-
table, it doesn't sound as bad as if it, like, this is what the table sounds like now. This is what it would sound like if there wasn't anything. So, like, it makes a difference. But, so, we were talking about our Thor Ragnarok experience.
Yeah, so,
When
Fletch and I are movie buffs.
Yeah.
More so Fletch. Though, I gotta say. I gotta give you credit there.
I watch a lot of older... Like,
he has
Carson,
a wider range.
Carson loves movies.
I don't like all movies.
But, like, I watch some older film, like, some classics.
I should be more specific. I don't like all genres of movies.
Yeah.
Fletch at least likes one
Like,
of each
Carson
genre.
can watch... I'm sure he can watch some of the older movies I watch and, like them, but I think you have to find the correct one for Carson to watch. So, like, when they...
I don't like things just because they're old.
Yeah, just... But
and I don't listen to, like, music artists just because they die. Mm-hmm. You know, that's a thing now, and I don't like it.
Unless it's David Bowie, who very much deserved to
I like
listen to
David
him.
Bowie way before that.
I love...
Not
like,
Prince as much, though.
I actually still don't listen to Prince.
Yeah, but that's not the point.
I mean...
Anyway, so...
I've never listened to Purple Rain.
Fletch and I are movie buffs.
Exactly.
So... we were getting a lot of these right. Between the two of us...
I don't think we explained what it is. I think it cut out. So, the Arcadia, before the movie plays, like, we usually get there, like, 20 minutes early.
Yeah.
We need to take the handicap seats before the real cripples
Yeah.
get
Okay.
there.
The handicap seats are the best seats.
Yeah. Like,
Don't at me.
hey, if a person comes up in a wheelchair and I'm in the handicap seat, like, come on.
Be like, sorry, Granny. Down in front.
You snooze, you lose, okay?
Well...
but so
at her age, more so.
But so they play these advertisements and these trivia things before. So there's like a trivia thing. So like they show a clip from a single shot from a movie, single frame from a movie, and it has a question like, what movie is this from? What classic Disney film? What classic blah blah blah?
Like, what's this character name?
Yeah, and then they show an advertisement, and then they show the answer. So we're there, and we're getting all of them right.
We're getting all of them right, like the ones, we're studs.
The ones I don't get, Carson gets. The one Carson doesn't get, I get. Most of them we're saying, like, in unison at the same time.
Yeah.
But then, so then there's this couple behind us.
An older couple, like middle-aged.
Middle-aged, exactly. Middle-aged couple, and they're sitting there, and, like, they would go, and then Carson and I
we would say something.
And then they'd go, oh, yeah. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like,
they wouldn't say, like, oh, yeah, like, hey, these boys. They weren't
like,
giving us any credit.
No,
which
no
I was
credit, no. But, like, they'd be like, oh, yeah, Maltese Falcon. Or, oh, yeah, Casablanca.
Like, how did you know that?
Like, they were very obscure movies that not many people watch. And then, like, we say the name. And then, like, oh, yeah, it's that. It's that.
So, Fletch and I had a little pep talk in the middle.
So
we started whispering.
I turned to Carson. I'm like, hey, Carson. So how about, because they keep repeating our answers, how about we say fake movie answer? Like, false. Completely
and
wrong.
What we really wanted, it was a social experiment. We wanted to see if they would say it, too.
Just to see if we
thinking we were right. Just to really catch them in the act.
Catch them in the act. So like, the sound of music comes off. It comes on, and I yell, Casablanca. And then the lady behind us is like, Casablanca. Wait.
Yeah, I don't think they're thinking... There's one that was, like, atrociously wrong. Like, it showed, like, something from... I think it was something from Scarface. And you're like, Toy Story or something. They didn't say that one.
Yeah, no. But, like, at one point, they just started looking at us weird. Like, what are you talking...
Because...
I'll
admit,
this point, we got obnoxious at one point.
Yeah, we started ditching the whole social experiment thing, and we're just trying to make
doing
each
it
other
for
laugh.
Comic relief. Like, it was... Like,
it was just a good old time.
It shows like a Vietnam War movie, and we're like the Smurfs, like stuff like that.
I laugh hardest at movies, and I laugh hardest at some of my friends. So when you combine them, it's just awesome.
Best
so
of both
I gotta
worlds.
say,
it's like a drive-in movie theater. You get cars, you get movies.
So I gotta
it's
say,
beautiful.
The first time I watch a big movie, I usually pay attention. The second time I watch a big movie, though, not as much.
Not as much.
So, Star Wars The Last Jedi. I saw this movie twice in theaters. Once I saw it and I was serious about it. Second time I saw it, I was just having fun with my friends. So, shout out to Landon. Not my brother, a different Landon.
Different Landon. I mean, I think we can say his name.
Landon Beach.
Landon Beach. He doesn't go to Wellsboro anymore, so it's not like someone can track him down.
He goes by first and last name a lot.
Landon Beach. Lando, the man. The Mando.
That may or may not be his real name.
Lando the Mando.
Anyway, so...
check out his new LP, his new album, Save the Beaches by Landon Beach.
Yeah, his debut album is Sandy Beaches.
Sandy Beaches.
Don't get them confused. New ones save the beaches.
And then make sure to hit up his single "Life is a Beach."
Life is a Beach.
It's a classic. A future classic.
A future classic.
So shout out to you, Landon. You're the man.
Anyway,
you're the man.
So we're sitting there, and it's at the part in the movie where Ray's in the cave, and she's about to find out who her parents are, allegedly. And then, so it's right in the climax. She's looking like this mirror thing,
and the whole room is
fogged
quiet.
up, and it's fogging up. And I gotta say, Landon Beach shouts at the top of his lungs. He says, "Han Solo!"
And everyone
and it was
just
so everyone
like,
around us started laughing. Everyone in the theater.
It's just like, oh,
they either
God.
didn't have any opinions about it, or the opinions were too strong and negative that they did not want to vocalize.
Like the kind of people like they thought we were the kind of people like, oh God, we're in one of the showings with them, aren't we? Like,
it was so funny.
Like, you know those annoying teens that sit in, like, the corner of the movie theater?
Yeah, well, that's what we were.
Hey,
we were in the corner.
If you're the good teens, you take the handicap spot, like any well-respecting citizen.
Yeah.
But
I can't stop laughing during movies. I'm sorry.
No.
More recently, when I saw Venom, there's a part, I'm not going to spoil it because it's pretty recently, but there was a part where Tom Hardy's a good actor, okay?
Uh-huh.
But some of the stuff he was given is just so atrocious. I can't even believe
Mad Max
they
Fury
would
Road,
make
if you
him
haven't
do
watched
this.
it, watch it.
And me and Landon and I, Grandma,
we were
like,
Pucky would
we
be proud.
couldn't, and my dad was like, "Shh, boys," and we're like, silently.
He's mimicking laughing behind.
Yeah, because we haven't upgraded the video yet.
Yeah,
but
I have a camera.
Earlier
right next
than
to
that, you may have remembered. It was last year, wasn't it? Last Halloween season.
Yeah.
The movie Happy Death Day came out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the worst. It's not as bad as I thought it'd be. It's still not great. It's what you expect.
I think there's like a certain
nothing
category of movies nothing fancy, mediocre.
Like they're not hurting anyone.
They're not
just
hurting
there.
anyone. They're just there. They're just the
Anyway, so that's what this movie is.
A passing glance movie.
And some of this movie has some clever visuals. It has 2 surprise endings where you think, yeah, there's going to be a surprise twist. And you're like, yeah, there's a surprise twist. But there's another one that genuinely surprises you.
You want to find out the surprise twist? Watch the first 2 minutes of this 30 seconds of the Cinema Sins episode on Happy Death Day.
Like,
it'll tell you
they
twist.
predicted it pretty well, but some of the dialogue, I gotta say, is terrible. Now, I remember this line perfectly.
Perfectly.
So, she goes to a guy, and she says, hey, this isn't perfectly quoted, but she says, hey, basically, I'm living the same day over and over again. And then it cuts to them, like, eating food. And then the guy is, like, asked a question, like, what do you mean? And then she says this. She says, stop looking at me like I took a dump on your mom's head. Because that's how college kids talk, right?
Stop looking at me like I took a dump on your mom's head, okay?
It wasn't like the annoyed college girl. Like, her mascara was running and she was really bugged up, okay? She was like,
she was really bugged up?
Yeah, like, she was freaked out. She was like, stop looking at me like I took a dump on your mom's head. And she was like quaking, which I'm doing now.
Like, emotionally.
And it was like, it took itself so seriously. And it was both horrible and perfect at the same time. And it actually brought tears to my eyes.
It brought tears
of laughter. It was so just out of place.
Tears of laughter are the best tears.
You're right.
That reminds me also, something that I can never do during a movie. I have never done. I don't think I ever will. I've never cried during a movie.
Neither have I. I've cried at TV shows, don't get me wrong. Never a movie, though.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm a soulless person. I can't cry at TV. I cannot cry at songs. I cannot cry at movies. I can't cry at funerals. I did cry at my grandmother's funeral. That I did do that. But like any other funeral, I go to some like a friend's funeral, some like family friend.
I actually haven't cried at a funeral before.
And like you go there and like I feel awful because everyone's crying and I come up and I have like I'm like, it's okay, and I feel so awkward.
Here's why I think this is, okay?
Like, I remember when I went to...
Here's what I think you may have.
When I went to Pop's funeral, you guys were, like, laughing and had smiles on your face, and I was like, huh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
You want to know why that is? Here's the thing about the Kennedy family. Not so much the women. But with my brothers and I, once we cry about something once, we don't cry about the same thing twice.
Mm-hmm.
So we had
It's a
already
one and
shed a
done,
lot of
kinda.
tears about that particular funeral, but after that, it was like, we've come to peace.
Exactly.
There's no use crying about it again.
Yeah.
That's what I think you may have, but TV shows. I've cried at 2 TV shows in my life.
Which ones?
One was Parks and Rec because
yes,
that
I was gonna
ending,
guess that.
That ending
Oh my
is
gosh.
superior to The Office's ending.
Let me just say one more time. I say this so many times. I've said it to so many people. Watch Parks and Rec. If you need to, you can skip the first season, or other than that, just power through. Because people don't give shows a chance because they're like, the first season is awful. The first season is always awful, except it.
Especially not
it's
Parks
Big
and
Mouth.
Rec, because I feel like it's criminally overshadowed by The Office.
Exactly. Like, honestly, Parks and Rec is better than The Office. I know that's gonna ruffle a few feathers.
Okay,
I understand that.
This is what I'm saying. We want to find someone who is passionate, who knows a lot about The Office, and who thinks The Office is better than Parks and Rec, because we want to have a debate.
We
Parks
need to
and
have
Rec
a little...
v. Office. I think if one of us really wanted to...
Wait. A Dorito debacle. I actually stole that off of Ethan Bootloot. I'm not going to say his real last name. His idea
I was going to
for a
say
show.
Burrito Battle.
Oh, I was coming up with fake Taco Talk, like rip-off ideas with people on my cross-country team. And I came up with Burrito Bash. That was one. Yeah, Burrito.
Nice.
We're going to do that. We're going to do something like that.
Anyway, we are going to have a
I'm an
Parks and Rec The
argumentative
Office
person, if you don't know
debate
me.
episode. It's going to happen. I have no timeline here, but it's definitely happening.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I cried at Parks and Rec, and then when I was a younger kid, I cried at another show. That show was The Sweet Life on Deck.
I remember that show. That was one of the shows.
It's not Sweet Life of Zack and Cody where they're in the hotel.
Mm-hmm. No, it was the one on
that
the
show
cruise
was
ship.
Just a bit younger than...
Yeah.
Just a bit older than
They were
I
like
was.
more teens.
I
when
was
it came
around
to
when
On
Sweet
Deck.
Life on Deck was on air,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was on Netflix. Power Through. You can still find the entire show on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I still watch it.
There were shows that
but
I
the
remember.
ending of that, when they just graduated, I was like, I'm never going to see Zack and Cody again. And now one of them's in Riverdale, so rip his career. But
I hate Riverdale so much.
I have
something
some
else
things to
to
say
ruffle
about
some
Riverdale.
feathers. The only thing that it has going for it is in the first episode, one of the teachers drives a Volkswagen Beetle. Other than that, trash.
Actually, another thing is the one who's played by Cole Sprouse. He's actually a huge cinephile. He's a huge car person, and he frequents the drive-in.
Maybe I
like
like
he's
him.
a classic type of guy.
Maybe I like him. He sounds like a.
He
Cole
is the
Sprouse
best character.
Sounds like a stand-up
I'm gonna tell
guy.
you.
But
I watched the first season of Riverdale. It's not for me. I'm not gonna say it's necessarily a terrible show. I just think they took it in a weird direction.
Yeah, it's very much not for me, I don't think.
I would have liked it, and I'm ashamed to be saying this, I would have liked it more if it was just a show about teenage drama. I think the whole mystery and murder angle.
But there's so many teenage
Yeah,
drama
I know.
shows. That's so
That's
generic.
why I don't really like saying it. It is generic, but I don't think the whole mystery, dark murder thing
Don't think it
works
works
for
out.
that particular show. Especially since it's based off of source material that has nothing to do with any of that.
Exactly.
I mean, they kind of
Archie,
solve mysteries, but nothing
people
like
have tried to tell me, actually Archie is no, Archie's like a
Archie is
happy-go-lucky.
not dark. Have you seen the art? I can take one look at the cover and
especially
tell
the
you what it's
original
about.
Archie, like classic 50s, 60s Archie. No. No.
Okay,
it's not
but
really.
anyway, we're talking about movie-going experience here.
How about solo experience?
Experience. I have a lot of things to say about this.
Mm-hmm. Do you think it diminishes the fact going? I think I think though it's a very different experience. I think it's a more pure movie going experience because you have no distractions. It's you and the movie.
I wouldn't see a movie alone every time you see it.
No,
but a lot of people
I
they
wouldn't go to
only
see-
go to the movies if they have someone else to go with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't go see a Marvel movie alone. That's not
No.
Maybe if I were a movie reviewer and I had to for a job. But I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't just go and see Infinity War.
That'd
That's
be
what
my
I was
perfect
thinking.
job. That movie reviewer. Perfect job.
The movie I went to see. This is one director. I think his name's Martin McDonough or something. He directs dark comedies. That's his claim to fame. But like it's called Three Billboards Out of Ebbing, Missouri. Okay, so I went to watch it. It's one of the nominations for Best Picture last year,
2017,
right?
yeah.
And so the Arcadia, they do this thing where they.
I can't believe Shape of Water won, by the way.
No,
What a wild concept.
It should have been Three Billboards, but I mean, I know you didn't see it. You should though.
I didn't
see it sometime.
I didn't see any of the Best Picture
I
nominees
saw Get
last
Out.
year.
Get Out was good, but
that wasn't Best Picture though. Was it?
It was. It was actually
was?
nominated. It was insane. Like it surprised
We have
me.
that DVD right outside.
Yeah. Have you seen it yet? It's
No.
good. But so what was I saying?
Yeah,
So
I
I
did
went to see Three Billboards because the Arcadia does this thing that once Oscar season comes around, they release the nominated movies. They do this little what is it? Movie
Film festival,
right? So I go into one of the showings, the only showing I can make through for Three Billboards, and it is packed. One seat is open. It's next to this little 80-year-old woman. So I sit down and she I feel awkward. Like I'm sitting there, no one to talk to. My phone died. So I'm sitting there just looking at the blank screen because they weren't even playing the little like things like advertisements and stuff. And then she turns over to me and she was like, "You come to the movie theater often?" I'm like, "Oh, I see what you're trying to do here, Granny." But no, I was like,
you're like down in front. Those
was
handicapped seats are mine.
I was like, yeah, actually, I do. I love movies, and like I couldn't wait to come see this one. She was like, "Oh, I know, sweetie. Every time the film festival goes by, I power through in 2 days. You know, I'm a real cinephile." I'm like, "Really, Granny?" Whoa.
Yeah.
Like, but then so the movie, it's like really dark. Okay, like but it's a dark comedy.
It has some somber themes.
Yeah, somber themes.
It doesn't.
Like the main character, her. Like, she's funny and everything. Like, there are a lot of funny stuff, but she puts up the 3 billboards because her daughter has died and the police, murdered, and the police haven't done anything.
I'll say something about this. I obviously didn't see this movie, but I think what it is, it's a somber movie. It is a comedy. It doesn't make jokes, but it's funny.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
like some comedy movies have set up punchline jokes, like jokes.
Yeah.
But there are funny things that
there are funny things that
jokes.
happen, like unintentionally funny. Some aren't unintentionally funny, like for the writers intend it, but like the characters, it's not like intentionally funny. Like the characters aren't laughing. Some they do. Like some it's an intentional joke told by a character.
Okay.
And it's like
I said, I think it
definitely
speak for it.
Lightens the mood. But I think it adds a whole new tone to a movie. Like, I know what it is. I don't want to just watch a somber movie. Like, I don't like just dark movies. I think the dark comedy's the way to go.
It's like, it's more,
but so,
not just one dimension.
Again, like, this is a movie that's very vulgar. I'll say it that
I'll
way.
say that.
Very vulgar. Martin McDonagh, he loves his curse words, especially a certain word beginning with F. But frick. But so in the movie, so they're doing all these like overt sexual jokes and saying all these expletives,
inappropriate stuff.
But I'm sitting there, I'm dying. But I turn over and someone's laughing louder than me. And I turn over and it's a little 80-year-old lady. And she is just dying. Not literally because she's 80, but like just dying.
When they're at that age, you really have to specify. Because if you say that, people will like run over to her. Have to specify.
Like, this lady's dying, but not like she's okay. She's
that's
healthy.
The difference between like this lady's dying and like this lady's dying.
Yeah, she was this lady's dying over here. That was the kind of thing.
Yeah.
She kept turning over to me, and she turns over and she's like, "Did you get that one, youngin?" And I'm like, "I got it." And she's like, "Yeah, you do." It was hilarious.
Hey, Brucey.
Hey, it's Also, if you're a fan of comedy, we just joked a little there. Go watch Ricky Gervais's Humanity. That's another dark comedy one.
Yeah, I would say
that you need
check your
age.
Not for kids, I'd say.
Not for kids. Not for kids. Don't watch with your parents either. Except with my dad. Watch it with my dad because my dad
he was cracking up.
He dies.
Well, it's not worse than a lot of comedy shows I've seen. Well. Heard of. I don't really watch because a lot of it is just senseless inappropriateness.
Yeah, but I don't think your dad would like it. Your dad would be like, "Oh, that's too much. I don't like that." Like,
I don't think my dad likes comedy shows. I don't think he likes
but
stand-up
like I don't
in
think
general.
he'd like. I don't think your mom or your dad would like. I did an awful your dad impression. He doesn't talk like that.
No,
but I don't think either of them would like, because I think for them it'd be just senseless vulgar. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, he's cursing just to curse, not like cursing because it helps a joke, but just saying it because
Yeah, like in the
he
joke
has
we
to.
were referencing, it makes a lot of sense
But-
what he's saying.
But he's saying it just like in some movies. Again, we were talking about with La La Land earlier. The senseless use of music in a musical, doing it just because it's a musical. And in this case, because you're a raunchy comedian, doing stuff
I
just
think
to get
The
a
Greatest
rise out of it.
Showman would have made a way better historical drama than it would have a musical.
Well, I think it would have been interesting if they played on the fact that the character is an actual awful person in real life. Like
yeah, but I understand they wanted to make a kids movie. Whenever I say this, adults are like, well, they can't make it like this amazing cinematic masterpiece because some of that entails having stuff that aren't suitable for kids.
But it doesn't have to be a kids movie.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and they're just like, I just appreciate that it's a movie for the whole family. And I get that.
I understand that musicals but if you want a musical for the whole family, go get Sound of Music. Like, if you want
Sound of Music, what a film.
You want me to be honest with you? Never seen it. Never seen Sound
Like-
of Music. I've never seen Forrest Gump either, and neither have you, right?
Yeah, we think we're giant cinephiles, but there are some movies
Neither
that
of
are
but
considered classics, and we'll say like, yeah, that's a classic.
But it's usually
We've never
something-
actually seen them.
I have never seen Forrest Gump.
I've
I
never
don't
seen
really-
E.T.
But I don't really want to see Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
either.
like people are like, "Huh, it's so funny," but I'm like,
You're like, oh, Bubba Gump. Like,
but what about it?
Like,
I just see Tom Hanks sitting on a bench.
eating chocolate. Like, I can name many more movies.
Yeah,
like
like
I'd
every
rather
reference.
watch.
Like, I won't get anything out of watching Forrest Gump because people only reference the same three things.
I get the general gist. I've watched some clips. Like I'm a runner, of course. So I've watched the scene where he runs endlessly across the country, and I've enjoyed it. But it's not like I
Yeah,
need a...
they only reference the same three things, and that's Bubba Gump Shrimp, him running, Run Forrest Run,
Yeah.
and Life's Like a Box of Chocolates.
Never know
I
what
can-
you're gonna get, but like...
That's the only three things people talk about in that movie, and I
You know what
haven't
I-
seen it,
you know
and
what I-
I can talk about it
You
just
know what
as
I
much
can't
as anyone
believe?
else. What?
That it got Best Picture. Can you believe that?
It did.
It got Best Picture that
well,
year.
maybe I'll have to give it a watch.
You must have got a bunch of stinkers that year, because if Forrest Gump got Best Picture, jeez. But
Yeah.
I've heard it deserved it. Actually.
Anyway, we were
I don't
talking
know.
about seeing movies alone before we went off the rails. The first movie I saw alone was 2016, Doctor Strange.
Doctor
You said you wouldn't see a Marvel movie by yourself.
Because it's just one that I think I'd talk. Like,
Oddly enough.
all I'd want to do is talk to the person next to me.
In terms of Marvel movies, I'm going to say that Doctor Strange is towards the bottom of the spectrum. None of the Marvel movies are bad, in my humble opinion.
Oh, no.
But this is towards the bottom of the spectrum. But this is the one I saw the most. I saw this one in theaters 4 times.
What?
I
You
saw
saw
this-
Doctor Strange 4 times?
4 times.
What led you to watch it 4 times?
Once with my brother, once with my family and a family that goes to my church, once with just me and my friend, once by myself.
But what drove you to see it by yourself the last time?
By yourself, because my family was seeing another movie.
Uh-huh.
I think they must have been taking Riley, and it must have been a really bad movie, because they're like, I don't want to go to that. And they're like, okay, Doctor Strange, the next
I bet it was
theater
the
over.
Emoji Movie.
So I was like, I've already seen this. It may have been. I was like, I've already seen Doctor Strange 3 times, but might
Why
as
not
well.
again, you know?
It's better than seeing whatever monster that movie must have been.
Ugh, Emoji Movie? What a disgrace to all.
I actually didn't finish that movie. I could not.
Yeah, some movies...
There's been 2 movies.
There's
that
some
I
movies
could,
you just can't finish. Perfect example, Transformers 5.
Yeah. 3 movies I absolutely cannot finish. I'm going to say the Emoji Movie, didn't finish it.
Yeah.
Justice League, you would think that'd be up my alley. Superhero movie, big blockbuster
Awful.
Didn't finish it.
No.
Didn't see it in theaters because I didn't care enough.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
There's some movies I just didn't waste my money. Do you know one thing I haven't seen?
Huh.
Han Solo: A Star Wars Story. Still
You
haven't
haven't seen
it yet.
Solo?
No.
It's actually not as bad as I thought it'd be.
Mhm.
Like, I went into it saying, I don't care about this
From
movie.
what I heard, though, like, I think it falls into one of those movies, like we were talking about earlier, like a passing glance movie. Like something that's not great, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just there.
The thing about
It's
Solo...
the awkward cousin sitting in the corner. Like, you'd talk to him. You don't need
Solo
to.
tried to get everything, okay? It tried to go for the Western vibe,
Tried to get Donald
which
Glover.
actually worked with the Western vibe. It tried to, obviously, one of the biggest task was finding an actor who could replicate Han Solo. I think it was a wise choice. He
Harrison
didn't try to
Ford-
replicate Han Solo.
Harrison Ford has some shoes to fill.
Yeah,
let's
he
be
didn't try
honest.
to act like Harrison Ford. He tried to act like a young Han Solo. I gotta say, the actor did well. But another thing it had was Lando is like a completely different character.
Really?
And then like very weird.
Did Donald
Lando
play him well? Like
he played a character well. It's just not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just act different. I guess as one ages, they change. And then Woody Harrelson's character was my favorite.
I love Woody.
Woody Harrelson.
Seven Psychopaths last night.
Woody Harrelson has such a range, by the way.
No, he's in the movie I watched. He plays this mob boss that constantly goes around like killing people and stuff because he wants to get his dog. So the plot to Seven Psychopaths, it follows Christopher Walken and he's a dog napper, right? He kidnaps dogs and then returns them for the reward. And he's an old man, so it looks like, oh, I just found your dog here, and they give him like $1,000. So he steals this one. Turns out it's this mob boss. There's other people in the movie, I forget all their names.
What's the genre of this?
Dark comedy.
I was gonna say it sounds like it's it sounds like Keanu,
but like
Key and Peele.
Mm-hmm. Like he steals a dog, and then but the guy, like, all he cares about, the gangster, all he cares about is the dog. Apparently, like he
focuses all of his resources on getting this dog.
He does actually though. Like the first scene you see is him, like the dog walk is this super fat African American lady, and she's sitting in the chair. He's like, "Please, mister, I didn't mean to lose your dog." And he's going off on her, and he's about to kill her, but then in the end, he's like, next week.
It's just a dog.
Yeah, and like he just walks away, and he has such a, like, it's an amazing movie.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of tangent I just went on.
Here are my three favorite Woody Harrelson movies. Okay,
have you seen Zombieland?
The one I'm about to say isn't my favorite, but it's just an example to show contrast between the two that actually are my favorite. So, War of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh,
I love this trilogy, by the way. What a good
trilogy. Oh my gosh.
You would think they wouldn't be able to pull it out.
You'd think they'd be
it's
bad.
Such an outlandish, campy idea. But they
but
pulled it off.
That
in
and the fact that it's
been
rebooted, like, you have the original, you have the 90s,
you have
80s,
the original,
90s
they have the new older one, and then they have the new older one. Then they have the new one.
Then they have the new one, and the new one is the new one and the original are very good. Like they're both like the new one too. Like Andy Serkis playing just such good acting.
He's a motion cap god, by the way.
Yeah, Gollum and what's Caesar and like they're just so good, you know.
Andy Serkis, I was going to say
greatest...
underrated, but then I realized, no, he's very well rated.
Yeah, I just think, too...
Yeah, but anyway. So, in War of the Planet of the Apes, he plays the bad guy, and he intimidates me. In Solo, he actually does play the bad guy. And you don't know he's the bad guy, and that actually surprised me.
You just ruined it for me. I haven't seen the movie, Carson.
Shut up.
Get out of here.
Shut up.
I spit at you.
But anyway... The two movies that are his favorite, these are like obscure movies. Not like too obscure. Like they had pretty good runs in the box office. But like I say these and people have never heard of this movie. Now You See Me 1 and 2. These movies are fantastic.
I've seen the commercials. I have not seen them yet.
So in that one he plays in War of the Planet of the Apes, he plays a strict like evil guy. Like he's multi-dimensional though, and you actually understand him.
Yeah.
Kind of like Thanos, but not to the same extent. But in this one, he just plays this wacky, just goofy, hilarious magician.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. I love these movies. I've never actually seen them until the second one was in theaters. So it was a Friday night, and I was like, hey, I'll watch the first one. Tomorrow, I'll see the second one, because Landon was going, and he had seen them. I just love them. Fell in love with them.
I definitely should watch them.
I think they're making a third one. I think, like, you know how we look back in their classic trilogies that we regard now.
That reminds me...
Jurassic Park, one of those classic trilogies. I think two of the classic trilogies that are being made in our day and age, in the future we're going to look back at them as classic. Now You See Me and the John Wick trilogy. Those are going to be classics.
When's the new John Wick coming out?
2019.
2019. Are you pumped?
Oh, I'm pumped. Have you seen 1 and 2?
I have not seen
You gotta give them a watch.
My grandfather loves them. Definitely ones that I should watch. But, there's so many movies. Like, I wish I could make time for all the movies I want to see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, I think we should probably wrap up, Carson.
Okay, I gotta tell one more story. So, we talked about seeing movies alone, and we talked about seeing movies with friends. But there's the movie that's so anticipated that all types of people come out of the woodworks and the theater's packed.
Uh-huh.
And, like...
This happened to me with 3 Billboards, too.
Yeah, but this more so. Avengers Infinity War. This movie, I was... Like, I had pains in my stomach. I was so excited to hear
those stomach pangs. Those stomach pangs.
I was ready for this, okay? And
I was counting down the days.
I know everyone
for this
says that,
movie
I'm the biggest Marvel fan. My family, though, is actually,
you have
a
no
runner-up
idea
in that competition.
I mean, they may not dress up, but the Kennedy family, they are mentally dressed up for the movie. You know what I'm saying? They're mentally wearing their Marvel costume.
Yeah.
Marvel.
Since way back in the earlier stages of the MCU, I knew they were going for the Infinity Stone setup. I predicted it. Well,
I hoped for it.
We predicted it. Me and my brother.
Mm-hmm.
So when this movie came out, I was so excited. And there seemed to be so high stakes, okay?
Exactly.
Because that people were, participating in the movie.
If they messed this movie up, it would go so bad for Marvel and Disney.
I was so worried about it. Until I heard the Russos were attached to it. Because they directed my favorite Marvel movie. Even after Infinity War, it's still my favorite. Captain America Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They did that. I figured they could pull it off.
Very underrated, too.
I think it's decently rated.
But,
it's just not what pops to people's mind.
Exactly.
When they think about it, they're like, yeah, it is good.
Because it's kind of smushed in between of the...
People were getting into it. When Iron Man first suited up in that movie, people were clapping. I gotta say, shout out to my sister. She was the catalyst for the clapping. She's the type of person who starts things.
Was she the enzyme that catalyzed the reaction?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
One could say that she was the enzyme that catalyzed the... Okay, I'm done. Biology's over. I passed that class. But anyway,
we passed that keystone.
She's the type of person who will start claps or cheers or chants when other people are kind of too nervous to do it.
I'm always nervous to do it when I'm in the theater because there's a level, even though we talk, there's a level of respect I still have for the other people that I don't want to just start clapping outright. Yeah. You know, because
so this is opening night.
I don't want to be the one
when
person.
Iron Man shows up in this movie, she starts to clap. When Captain America shows up in this movie, first time, she starts to clap, okay? When Red Skull appeared, if you haven't seen it by now, the spoiler season for this movie is way done.
Past due. If you haven't seen it, you live under a rock.
When Red Skull is revealed, this is a callback to the OG MCU fans.
This is something that
this is the third movie of Phase 1.
Some people those
some
that
people didn't even get
as seasoned with the Marvel Cinematic Universe would like.
Like I said, Red Skull was in Captain America: The First Avenger. The first movie I fondly remember. So when he came out, I had a big reaction to this.
Because it was something nobody was expecting.
Yeah, my brother and my sister and we had big reactions to this. But nobody else in the theater did. So we went, what? Landon went, what is going on? My sister went, wait a minute. And no one else was confused. And then we were like, oh, that was really loud. But we didn't even care. But then I gotta tell you, this is gonna be the closer. Mm-hmm. When Thor came to Wakanda with the big dun,
everyone was just like, yes!
Especially with the sound system and the bass.
Yes.
I got chills.
Movie theaters need a good, I want to feel
I got chills. People were clapping. People were like, yeah. People were standing up.
No, you that's give the standing ovation.
I think people give out standing ovations too much
easily.
In this day and age.
Very too easy.
But for that,
it deserved it.
If a movie genuinely makes me feel like something's at stake, because a lot of movies I'm like, yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah.
Nothing's real. When you make me really care about what's happening in the movie.
Even though, and with a Marvel movie like this, where you know that there are sequels already slated, right, and you know that everything's going to turn out in the end, you still, when you still get to the point where you can feel stakes, even though when you know good guys are going to win in the end, that's when you know the movie's done it right, you know? Yeah,
and I remember leaning over to my friend, Alan. He was like, yo, bro, how many stones do you think Thanos is going to have at the end of this movie? Because at that point we had heard there's an Infinity War Part 1 and Infinity War Part 2. So we thought it was going to be the same movie. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I don't know, 3? And then
He gets
Who would have thought? Who would have
Who would have
thought?
thunk it? You know what I'm saying?
That is the best movie going experience in my life.
Because like you thought they're just gonna split it up, like shameless money grab between two, like
can never experience that again.
like Hunger Games, Mockingjay, stuff like that. Something that didn't need to be split, but they decided to just for the sake of money. This is like in this case.
Mockingjay Part 2 was way better than 1 though. 1 was boring.
Mockingjay was my least favorite.
The thing about Infinity War, I'll never get an experience like that again. People are gonna be like, yeah, but Avengers 4. It's the next in the story and it's going to be bigger. And I say, yeah, it's the next in the story, but I don't think it's going to have as big a reaction from
shock
the fan,
value, you know
because
what I'm saying?
it's going to go into a lot deeper lore in the MCU, which is going to lose some of the more general fans.
There had been an Avengers hiatus, you know what I'm saying, between them, like the Taco
There has been such a wait for this movie in particular that there's only like a 1.5 year wait between Avengers 3 and Avengers 4.
Because like this is something that had been brewing for some time. Like this was something anticipated because we knew it was coming. But you knew you had to wait this
One
whole
last
time.
story. I had a tennis match the day Avengers Infinity War came out.
I had a track meet the day it came out.
I had a tennis match, and the thing is, our team was like down low, okay? Mm-hmm. So I remember I was playing doubles with this other kid on my team, and we lost the first set. If you don't know tennis, you play best to 3 sets. We lost the first set, and then we started winning the second set. So I know it's a terrible thing to think, but I thought, hey, if we win, tennis matches take a long time.
Yeah.
So I was like, if we actually win the second set, we have to play a third set, and I might actually miss the movie. So I was seriously considering purposely losing the tennis match.
It's all worth it.
To make the movie.
No, like...
And then I was like, no, okay, it is a movie, though. If my dad figured out that I threw a tennis match, I would not be very happy. I did try my hardest. Me and my doubles partner, we tried our hardest, and we ended up losing anyway. So it all works out in the end.
I ended up considering dropping the final event in my track. Because, like, they do it by events, right? There's multiple events. Usually there's long amounts of time in between, right? So I had 1 in the beginning, 2 in the middle, and then I had a long amount of time, and my last one was right at the end, the 2-miler. It's right before the last one.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe I should just not do the 2-miler.
I understand wanting to make the movie, but letting down your team like that.
Yeah.
It's like such a scummy thing to purposely.
But then I thought about it, and I was like,
no, that'd be terrible.
No. And so I ran the 2-miler. I ended up getting there with like 10 minutes time. It was fine. It all worked out.
Yeah.
So you support the team, you support the theater, you support the Russos.
Support local business.
Don't support Disney, though. They have enough money.
Disney, I have some things to say about Disney.
Support local business. I'm all about that.
Local business is where it's at.
Do you like if the Arcadia closed, I'd be so insanely sad.
No,
I
would
begin.
cry.
No, we would hold.
But they're not going to close because
they're never going to close. No, it's
because they pay a very low. They pay their employees very little.
Yeah,
and they rake in the snack money. To be honest,
they do.
The ticket money is nothing compared to the snack money.
Yeah, because do you know
their business model impeccable?
We always get the free snacks, and they ended up they had to have a talk with their workers because they were giving away so many free snacks.
Because when my brother worked there, he got a little bit of a discount. It makes more sense. Mm-hmm. That was before the owner really started cracking down on the rules, and then once he kind of cracked down a little bit more, I couldn't get in as easily. Like I obviously had to pay some money.
Yeah.
But we had a friend there, and he hooked us up a little bit. Sometimes, not every time.
I'm really sad now that like the previous batch of seniors left. This new one's going to be leaving. Like, especially our hookup there just quit the job.
Yeah, like I have some other people that I'm, like, friendly with
but
there.
It's an end of an era for us.
But it is an end of an era. Like, that's why I haven't been seeing as many movies.
Yeah, because, like, you go there and you always count, like, oh, so-and-so is going to drop me a free snack or something and be like, no, man, just...
Yeah, that's not it anymore.
But, like, no.
Believe it or not, you have to pay for...
food?
Services and services? What the heck?
Like, that's a crazy concept.
I can't blame them, though. If I were running that business, I'd do the same thing. Exactly. I'd be very upset if a couple snot-nosed teenage kids were extorting snacks. But
running,
anyway.
if at one point, like if one of us makes it big in
Fletch,
the big
we're going
time,
into business together.
we
Eight
need a
screen
we
theater.
need to own a movie theater. Like that needs to be something we do.
Mhm.
And screen Taco Talk. But
You're right.
I think this is a good moment to an hour and 15 minutes in.
This is our longest episode yet.
Yeah. So I think we'll play the outro because we already have it. But thank you so much for listening, liking, commenting,
subscribing.
Again, sorry for the hiatus. I think this episode, more than all of the others, we went on so many tangents.
Yeah,
it's insane.
But like
that's what it's about.
I'm more of a structured person. Like I don't like going into something not knowing what I'm getting into. But once it happens,
you kind of just have
once
to roll
I go
with
off a tangent, I like it.
I think,
and other people seem to like it too. They're like, "Haha, that was so funny when you guys talked about this." And they'll comment that. I'm like, "Hey, I thought it was a little chaotic, but if you guys like it, we don't mind doing it." I think we
went a little more serious in this one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not as many goofs, not as many gaffes.
I think maybe it's just because it's 9:40 and we're like tired.
Maybe it's just because we're so passionate about the subject matter.
That, and I think like it's been a long week too. Like it's been a long week.
This week seems like
I have to wake up tomorrow morning at 6, get on a bus at 6:20, and go to NTL my cross country meet. Like. I think I've gotten to the point where I'm kind of like over this week.
Yeah, I film for soccer. It's fun. I like watching soccer, but filming it can sometimes be tedious. There was a game for me to film Tuesday. There was a game Wednesday. There was a game Thursday. Friday, today when we're recording this, no game. Saturday, another game.
Exactly.
4 games in 5 days.
My
SD card cannot
I've gotten to the
this.
point where all I want to do is go to sleep.
I've gotten to the point where all I want to do is watch Netflix.
Like, I just want to sit down and not do anything anymore. And I know that I have a meet tomorrow, so the only day I'm going to get to do anything is Sunday. But you know what's after Sunday? It's Monday. Monday is after Sunday, and I do not like it. Okay?
Death is inescapable.
Life is meaningless. Death is inescapable, and Monday's after Sunday.
Monday always comes. Yeah, Sunday sometimes feels like pre-Monday.
Winter is coming.
You get that trash out of here.
You should watch Game of Thrones, guys.
Unpopular opinion, I don't like Game of Thrones.
He's never watched Game of Thrones. He only doesn't like it because of certain
acts that are deemed inappropriate in our day and age.
Especially with midgets. But that's an offensive.
That's neither here nor there.
That's also an offensive term in this day and age.
Just thank you guys for watching.
Maybe we should double down on the midget. But
thanks for watching. Make sure to tell your friends we're almost to 100 subs.
Longest episode yet with 100.
And then, if you think about it, once we're at 100 subs, then we're only 1/10 to 1,000.
Thanks for tuning in to the latest installment of Taco Talk.
Can't wait to see you in the next video.
It's been a pleasure to talk taco with you taco-loving people.
If you want to watch the previous video, check the link in the description or the box on your screen. Catch you later.
Y hasta luego.
Okay. Y'all hearing that? We're having a little bit of technical difficulties there.
Okay, we're gonna cut this out. Actually, I think I'll put it at the end.
No, so that's a good blooper.
Our microphone just fell.
Okay, so